Yellow. Okay, let's see how I sound. Hey guys. I hope Hey hearts, can you hear me? Hey guys. Okay, y'all can hear me just fine. Okay, the only thing I need to be able to do is hear Josh. Hopefully it'll work and I'll be able to hear him because if it doesn't, I'm going to be bummed. Okay. It might be, I hope it's not his phone. Okay. There you are. Okay. All right, Josh. I hope this works this time.
All right. You
Hello?
hear me now?
I
Yeah.
hear you.
Awesome.
Hey, hey, hey. Okay.
Right on.
All right. I was getting a little nervous there. So thank you so much for taking the time to come on the channel, man. I really do appreciate it.
No, I appreciate it.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I would love to hear about, I just want to know about your story. I want to know how you got into your addiction, what it was like during your addiction, and then I want to know what you're doing now to stay sober. So, if you can just start from the top, and I'm kind of going to I'll kind of interject a little bit and we'll just kind of bounce back and forth off to each other, okay?
No problem.
Okay.
Probably what I remember is like I guess I started, like experimenting young, with everything, just what normal kids did, weed, alcohol, everything. When I was about young, I got diagnosed, ADD, so I was, given Ritalin back then. And it didn't do much for me, but what it did is like it put in my brain that a pill could change the way that I feel. And like I remember one day I was at school and I was just taking it, like, it didn't do anything for me. And my friends, they all wanted it. And eventually, like, I started trading it for other drugs, And by the time I was 17, I got into opiates. By the time before I was 18, I had a full blown heroin habit.
Wow.
I grew up in Houston, right outside of downtown, kind of not probably the best place. I'm a city boy, straight up. Uh, I just in the beginning, I was more addicted to actually selling drugs than I was doing drugs.
What was
And
it like when you were growing up? Did you have like a solid family or were your parents divorced? How was it growing up? Did you have a good foundation?
my dad was gone while he traveled, but didn't. I never really like got any kind of beat or anything like that. I know friends that have been in that aspect, and that's not me. I was a very rambunctious, just like I was very hyper and just was, wanted to get into everything, and like I was someone that wanted to find out everything for myself. I was told. My mom is super religious, and probably that's why my whole religious backbone is just like is the view it is now because of the way I was raised a little bit. But they my mom, she believed she thought that smoking weed is just as bad as shooting heroin. You know what I mean? To her,
Yeah.
a drug is a drug is a drug.
Yeah.
And I remember like the first time that like I told her that I had a habit, like she was like just stunned like of what I was doing. But even though with my addiction, I still was managed to maintain, to get through school and anything. And I still, at the time, my first major in college is I was going to the University of Texas in Austin to be a pharmacist. And I had about a year left, and that's when I caught my first dope case. So I went from UT to TDC.
Mm-hmm.
So, that was kind of and at the time, like I still think, like looking back on it, and I was very, sheltered. Like, I didn't know a lot of what I was doing, and all that. And then, I had a drug habit, but it got worse when I got out, because like by the time
Do you
By the
think
time
that do you think that if you had became a pharmacist, how do you think I mean, I
well,
can't even imagine working in a pharmacy around all those drugs.
I mean, I'm glad I didn't, because I mean, because I was already starting to. I was working as a tech before I caught my first case, and I remember one time I stole a fucking Oxy 160 from the pharmacy when those were still around, and
Yeah.
they had like searched the whole, turned the whole place upside down, and I didn't get caught, but like I was always on edge, like all you need is a bad day and you get caught, you
Right.
know what I mean? So I mean, and like it's a lot bigger of a charge to get charged, like robbing from a pharmacy than just with a dope case.
For
So
sure.
I'm
What did you go to
so I
prison
mean it's
for?
probably
What was your charge?
possession of distribution of controlled substance, heroin, tar.
Wow. How did that happen? Tell us how that happened.
Well, I just started. I At the beginning it was like to fund my own addiction, and I liked to. I mean, it was basically supporting me and my girlfriend and stuff like that, and I was I'd buy an ounce and just would peddle it out to my friends and stuff. And I mean, when I first got into doing drugs and selling drugs, when I got into it first, is I I sold to a lot of, I guess, like working women, I guess, I mean, they were around my area and everything, and they kind of like looked at me like their older brother, I guess, and they most of them, at the time I was selling crack. And
Okay.
they, at the time, because that was what I first learned how to do. I mean, by the time I was like 14 years old, I was a crack technician. It's never
A
my
crack
thing, but I
technician.
mean, but I
Yeah.
mean, it was something I was good at doing. But I never forget. Like, they introduced me to this older Hispanic woman that sold the dope, and
Mhm.
like because they wanted me to sell to them because they knew that I would front to them as long as they paid me, So
Right.
this older woman was the one that like got me into the game, And I mean, besides what she does, I'm still close to this woman, Like, I mean, like I look at her like as a mother figure because she never wanted me to get hooked on the drugs. I mean, I did, throughout the thing, but she still like went about it in a caringly way. But and I mean, you learn something from, because constantly, I truly believe that you're always learning more from what you're doing. If everything you do, is somewhat of a lesson if you want to look at it like that. But
Absolutely. Yeah.
the first time I got out of my first sentence, I got 12 years, and I did like almost a little under 5, like 4 and like 8 months.
Mhm.
And first time I got out, I mean, I went like right back to where I was going. It didn't take any time. You know,
Right.
um, and I went and like the first time I ever got on methadone was because my parole officer introduced me to it. She was like,
Mhm.
you can't, you keep coming up dirty for opiates. She's like, I'm gonna get you, and she's like, here, she gave me the address, and she knew the counselor at the clinic, and she got me, and that's how I got embedded in that, at the very beginning.
Mhm.
And I went years, and I did the clinic, but when I first got on it, I still, I mean, at the time when I first got on it, my drug was heroin and only heroin.
Uh-huh.
And then because of that, I started abusing benzos along with coke and alcohol, pretty much whatever else kind of came my way. And I mean, I did that for many years, many years.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of people, you know, and I mean, I mean, I live in, I've most of my life I've lived back and forth between Houston and Austin, but I've lived more of in Houston. And Houston is known for, well, years back it was known for the pill mill capital of the world.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
I remember those days. We used to drive from Arkansas to Texarkana to see to go to a doctor there that would just write scripts. But that was
oh
back in the
yeah.
days where you could just go to script doctors and get whatever you wanted, you know?
Oh, it was crazy. Like I remember, it was like there was a big collective of doctors, and like, they would just, there was I mean, all different clinics in different parts of town. One time I mean, every day I went to a clinic, and I usually would pick up homeless people, and I'd pay them to go for me, like. But
Yeah.
I remember one time I went to a clinic on a Monday, and Wednesday or Thursday that same week, I was in the doctor's office and I saw the same doctor that I saw Monday, you know? And
Yeah.
she was looking at me and I'm like, oh God, I hope she doesn't fucking, notice me. I hope she doesn't say anything. But, I mean, of course she's, I mean, I already paid the fee and everything. So like, I had the script on the way out the door before you know it.
So
But,
tell me this. How long have you been sober? How long what's your sobriety date?
well, I don't like I probably was about a month before this, but I started counting it 3 years like a day after my birthday, and that's September 26th. So September 26th, 2016. But I
That's
had been
great.
I had been I had a little bit of time before that, but I just at the time I didn't really like get serious about doing anything until then. So that's when I, fully, put it like that's when I like decided that, I was kind of like on the fence, like because so many. I mean, I've played the system and I've played, done everything, and I mean, I remember like I would go to a treatment center and I would, go and because I would either go to get my parole off my back, keep my job, or to talk to my folks or whatever. And I
Yeah.
would go, and I mean, in Texas, the way it would work is, you would go and you'd finish your 30 days, and after that, they would fund you for 90 days of a halfway house.
Mhm.
So I mean, it was like a no brainer. So I mean, I did
Well,
that for.
what has changed now? What's so different now that has made you decide to, change your ways? What was the deciding factor that really pushed you over the
Well, I probably couldn't tell the exact thing, but probably I was living in Austin. This is a little over 3 years ago, and I had I had started I had I basically just kind of ended up in a situation I didn't want to be in, and the I don't know, probably the solution the thing that did it for me was that I don't know if you like we talked about it, the houses, the Oxford houses.
uh-huh.
That really like was that, and CA. Like even though I said CA, cocaine wasn't really my drug, they were the first ones that like I admittedly to being on a MAT program that they accepted me. And they didn't like not like NA how they said you're not clean and all this other stuff. They like openly arms accepted me. And then at the same time, I was going to a meeting house in Austin, CA meeting place, and a bunch of I became friends with a few of the guys that were in Oxford House, and I never thought that they would accept me like being on methadone, even though at the time like I was already you know getting I mean I could still pass a UA and stuff like that, but some places are strict about that. So,
Right.
but at the time I was like, it wasn't like you know it wasn't like a decision like, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to stay like this. I was just like, I'm going to fucking try this. I've tried it a million other ways, and I'll be like, hopefully, like, it'll change something. And it did. Like, I mean, slowly, the desire to eat pills and shoot dope. I mean, it's, I mean, yeah, I mean, I still have my, occasionally dope dream and stuff like that, but not like, I mean, and I mean, I live, I'm liking the way I live, I'm liking the
So tell me
principles and
this.
stuff on.
it sounds like to me that, okay, so you've had a hard time, like with people judging you for being on a medically assisted treatment program. And
Yes.
can you share with everybody about when you are judged like that, it sets you back, doesn't it? And it makes it to where it's hard for you to open up and want to be a part of and go into these places. So, can you kind of share with us what it was like for you and how it made you feel, and if it was difficult or not to, start opening up and sharing with people about your recovery?
Well, yeah, like in the beginning, like, you know, I would feel like I would really, I would want to, I mean, like I would be going and getting my medicine, and I would be, passing my UAs, and my counselor there would, be, telling me I'm doing so good and stuff like that. But then I'd be going to the meetings, and, like I would mention it, and they're just like, oh, you're still using. And I mean, it discouraged me. It made me like, and it put in that frame of mind, like, you know what, if I'm still using, why don't I really use? You know what I'm saying? If I'm like considered, if they still think I'm getting high, why don't I really get high when I like to do? you
Right.
know
Right. I
and I did
totally
that,
get it.
for a long time. Like, I mean, I've said it before. Like, I mean, I love, I do, I really do like I like the 12 steps, and I like the 12 principles. And I mean, I like it, because the whole, it's not supposed to have any outside controversy or anything like that. But the problem is the rooms are full of people, and the people are full of opinions, you
Yeah.
know? And I mean, opinions, I mean, they do more damage than good, but like when I was in Austin, I truly got involved. Like, like I never, that was the first time that I'd really experienced like the whole like service work of the 12 steps.
Mhm.
We started a medically assistant uh, meeting there in Austin, and it went successful for a long time.
Mhm.
I left, I mean, I moved out of Austin. I miss it, but my daughters live in Houston, so I'm where I need to be right now.
So, are you able to spend time with your daughters and be a father to your daughters and take care of them?
Yeah, I mean, they live with their mother, but they just live uh, about a few miles away. I mean, they don't live far, so yeah. I mean, I talk to them every day on the phone and stuff, and all that. So so yeah, we're uh, I mean, my they're 10 months apart, so they're 9 and 10. They're actually in the same grade together.
Uh huh.
But my 10-year-old, I know she still has a little bit of a resentment towards me because I moved, because I was in Austin for some years.
Mhm.
And I mean, it's getting better. I mean, all I can do is show her that I'm here now, and I'm just trying to be more consistent and stuff like that now. But because I mean, there were some years where I wasn't the best person. I mean, there were times when, if it wasn't for Mama bringing me to, Mama bringing them to the, when I was locked up and stuff, then I probably wouldn't have had much of a relationship with them. And
Right.
I mean, me and their mother, like, she was one of my best friends, and me and her, we used for many years and stuff, and it was hard, like I try to get that to go on forever, and we just like, we're toxic together, we're
Oh, I
now,
totally understand that. I go-
we're,
I have been there before.
yeah, we're now to where we can communicate and we talk. I mean, we're still not like we were, but we can, I mean, like, um we actually, can do something with the kids together and be in the same room, and and not kill each other, not talk bad about each other, which is coming a long way.
Yeah, totally. I mean,
you
that's a
know
miracle because when you, being together with and being able to co-parent with your ex-wife or ex-girlfriend, that's a miracle. It's a miracle that you're able to be a part of your daughter's lives today. And you know, I want to know this. What do you do? What do you do on a daily basis besides going to the methadone and getting your being on methadone? What do you do besides that to stay sober? And what would you suggest to other people who are just starting in their sobriety?
Well, I mean, not necessarily daily, but weekly. I mean, I go to several meetings a week. Um, I try to, I try to like either read something or do something like recovery based every day, and then try to like, you know, help other people. Get outside of yourself is the big thing. That, like I said, when I was in Austin, I started doing service work and stuff. I didn't truly understand like how selfish the service work really is. Like, because I mean, like it's a big, I mean, it's a big part of it, and I never realized that until I did it. And then the more you do it, like, you're realizing like, the people that sponsor people and stuff like that, they're doing that for them. They're not doing it for I mean, it helps the other person, but you're really doing it for you.
It saves our life. It's
It
like
does.
literally saves our life. And so many people will be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much, Nicole. You don't understand. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. If I don't help people, I'm going to die. This is literally saving my life. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's, and I try to explain that, but I'm like, I don't think, unless you have done it and you start doing service work and you start giving back and you learn about the program and stuff, then you understand. But from the outside looking in, you're like, oh wow, look at Josh, he's such a great guy, he loves to help people. And it's like, actually, I'm doing this because it's saving my life.
Right.
It's
Right.
amazing.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. And I mean, just like too, like since when you're in your active addiction, you're living in such. I mean, the things I used to love, like my full passion was, I played music and I skateboarded, and those are my two things. And I gave everything up. I was in bands and I, was touring and I was doing a lot of stuff with music, and I gave everything up, to, be an active, shoot dope,
Yeah.
because I mean, it's hard to be in another city every day and not have to, not have a place to score. I mean,
Right.
it's like, and all. And but like since I've been like this last few years, like, I mean, here I am, like, I'm 41 years old and I'm like skating in competitions again, and I'm like, getting my old band back together, doing like stuff that like makes me happy, and it's like I just thought this part of my life was over, and I mean,
Yeah.
I love it,
You're
dude,
getting your passion back. That's one of the
right,
things that my mom asked me, or my mom pointed out to me. She said, I haven't seen you this passionate about anything since before, when I was like 17. I used to be in these dance classes and I was
yeah,
obsessed with dancing. And I hadn't had passion for anything like that in my life since then. And now that I'm sober and I'm living my life right, like it's like I found this new drive inside of me that makes me want to, like my passion, and when you're in your active addiction, you lose that. And it's like, I don't know how, I know you understand, but the only way I can explain it is it's like you're a candle and somebody takes a jar and sticks it over the candle and smothers the fire out. And then when we get sober, somebody takes the jar off and lights the candle and the candle starts burning again. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I mean, like, in the beginning, I mean, I like working with the people like right when people get into recovery, because like, in the first like month, especially after they detox and stuff, like, people get that like new fire in them and stuff. It's like a new relationship. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that new puppy love, like, like that cloud nine kind of thing. And it's like, sometimes it's almost like you get jealous because you're like, man, I wish I, get like that. But, then you start helping people and you kind of get that back again.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like the fire gets lit back inside of you. And it's inspiring to be able to, like, since I've been doing these interviews and having different people on, it's like every time I have a different person on, I get to hear a little bit. And I'm like, that makes me excited. Like, hearing that you're starting your band and starting to skate again, it's like, I feel that inside my soul because I know what you're talking about. Like you're getting the old you back.
Right. And and like the cool thing is like now my daughter's like, for their birthdays, like, I gotta meet you skateboard, and like that's what we do as a family. Like, we go to the skate park, and it's like I'm loving it. It's like awesome. It's like, something that I never thought that I would do, because for so many years, you just never see yourself outside of that, like, just getting outside of, doing your thing, I mean, you just, you listen to the same music, you watch the same things on TV, you eat the same things, and you do the same dope.
Right, right.
And, there's more to life than that, and everything. So,
Tell me
yeah.
this.
Um,
If you could tell anybody out there that's struggling in active addiction right now, what would you tell them? What would you say to them?
I would say that, I would say that, you're worth it, because I know that, I didn't realize it, but, at some point I developed like a self-hatred for myself, you know. I think most addicts do. And I mean, I don't really know exactly where it came. I know it came along somewhere. Maybe, it happened, and then, over the years, just more and more and more, living like I was, it gets worse and worse. But I truly believe that, I mean, telling the people that, to they're worth it, and to find their passion, and that.
They're worth it and they deserve recovery, and that
Right,
they that we love them and that we're going to support them. Tell me this, how easy or how difficult has it been for you to find support being on methadone and being in recovery?
Well, I mean, there's always going to be stigmas behind it. You know, uh, and I mean, I think that, like most maintenance medications like methadone, Suboxone, I think they're great medications. But I also like I tell people that, that I know that are at the clinic trying to get help. I'm like, you don't hang around the clinic either. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Right.
like, I mean, it's not the best thing. You like. I mean, I got to go there. I go there twice a week now. So I'm in and out. But everything else, and also I don't unload every. I mean, I kind of ease it in. Like, I mean, when I meet people, I mean, I don't hide it from anybody by
Uh,
any means, but like, I also, I mean, I'm not gonna like talk about it in a meeting, but like when I'm outside of the coffee shop with them, whatever, like I'll totally get down about it.
yeah.
And because I mean, it took a few people that I met that was doing the same thing to make me feel like, that, I shouldn't be ashamed of it and stuff and all.
Right.
And, you know,
Never be
and
ashamed. And I think the reason I asked you that is because I just want to make sure, because I know there's a lot of people who watch my channel and who are in the live chat right now that are on maintenance medications. And the purpose of my channel is to help support people who are like us, who are on maintenance, and spread that message and help smash that stigma. And
oh
so
yeah,
that's why I was excited to have you on, because I don't think I've had anybody that's on methadone right now. Like, we had Chris on, but he had tapered off methadone and had gotten on Suboxone. So I want to make sure that I'm sharing, an equal
yeah,
amount of different people's perspectives.
yeah. And I mean, I had been off. I mean, I've gotten off it several times and stuff. But every time I got off, like most of the time, it was like I was rushed to get off it, and most time it was because like you know, family members and stuff like that just was kind of putting their nose in my business and just like, and I felt rushed.
Right.
But every time that happened, I ended up going down too fast, and ended up getting high. So
Right.
I mean, I'm going down, but I mean I'm doing it very slow. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing
No,
it,
take your time.
yeah,
No rush. You
you
do
know.
what you got to
But
do,
like yeah,
buddy.
but I mean like that, and that's the one thing. Like one thing I do hate is like whenever you tell somebody like whatever you're on, the first like thing is like, well, how much, and it's like, well, not enough to get high and not enough and enough to keep me well,
I
like,
know.
you know,
It's like none of your business.
it's
But
yeah,
I
it's like,
understand what you're saying. But like
It's like,
I think when I talk to people who are on medication like we are, I always ask them that because like we have an understanding. But
right,
it's like
yeah,
when
but
somebody else asks me that, I'm like, why are you asking me that? Just so you can tell me that that's a high dose or that I need to get off of it. You know what I
right,
mean?
yeah,
Oh, I
and
hate
I mean,
that.
and the last time before I got back on the clinic, I had I had I would try to get. I think I told you this. I tried to get on. I did the Suboxone program, but here I was, doing dope every day, and I show up, and they're like, oh, here's like here's a month supply, and like
Yeah.
in the beginning, I needed that little bit of having to go every day, because I
Yes.
mean, like
The
where I'm at,
accountability.
yeah, because I mean, where I'm at, like, they make you, I mean, talk to them for a minute and all this stuff. And if you come and you're too fucked up, they'll tell you to come back,
Right.
But when I got like a month supply, I mean, I would go and I would either take it really early so I could shoot dope that afternoon, or I would try to score. And if I did, then I would do it that evening. You know what I mean? Like, so it was like counteracting and it really wasn't doing much, and, and all, and I mean, I think, I think both medications I think it just fits to whoever, because there's a one a program here in Houston that does the Suboxone, like the clinic where you come every day for the first month,
Uh huh.
and if
Yeah.
I did it like that, I would have done that. But, when I came back, I was already on the medicine and I just transferred, but,
You're
you
doing a
know,
great job, Josh, and I'm proud of you. And I'm so glad that you wanted to come on and share with us
oh
because
yeah, absolutely.
and I listen to me. I was so nervous at first because it was like not going through, and I was like, "Oh my God, we're not going to be able to have him on."
And I told you, I found your channel because like I was like I was living in Austin, and then for a few months I had to move to take care of some family stuff in East Texas, like in the middle of nowhere, and like I didn't have the recovery that I had, so I got online and I started looking up Matt and recovery, and your channel popped up, and I saw like your first like Matt show or whatever, so that was the first one I watched, and that was like 2 months ago or whatever, but
Yeah,
you
we're
know.
doing it. We're changing. We're getting people over here, and that's what's up. And I just want I want to have you back on in like
Oh,
6 months,
absolutely.
or just to check in and give us an update and let us know how you're doing. And maybe next time you come in, we can get into some like stories about the craziest things we ever did when we were out
Oh
there,
man,
and now what we're
trust
doing.
me, trust me, I've got it, man. I've got them. I'm actually like in the middle of writing this book.
Oh yeah, tell
And
everybody about that. Tell everybody about your book. Tell
it's
everybody about the Facebook page.
um, well, I've got like I can't like the book. It's just like an autobiography of my dope stories, and it's called the Ivy League. You know,
I love that.
yeah,
That's
and
cool.
yeah, and it's just like years. I was playing in like punk rock and just playing all over the country and just you know doing dope and trying to get clean and just over and over and over again and all that. And but like I was supposed to put it out a long time ago, but then but I never really. But then over the last 3 years, like since a lot's happened, like I'm glad that I'm doing it now because now like good stuff has happened. For
Yeah.
long it was just like continuous like drug use. It's like everybody loves an underdog, but you got to have a good ending to it. You know what I mean? So
Exactly. And that's what I was telling somebody that there's this other guy that has a channel. His name is Ryan Leone, and I watch his
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I told him the same thing. I said, it's only a success story if you pull out on the other side and you stay sober and you stay alive and you succeed. It would be a
That waste
tragedy
life.
if you die and lose your life to addiction. So let's do this. Let's stay on the winning side and get out on the other side so that way you can help people.
Right. Yeah, because I've came to too many, I've, the ODs and mixtures between, benzos and heroin and all that for many, many years and stuff. And,
So tell
and
me
it's,
this: did you start a Facebook or a YouTube channel, or just the Facebook page?
my Facebook page is, it's just Josh, JJ Griffin. And then, Instagram is, Griffin JJ. I haven't put my, I'm gonna put a channel on there. I haven't loaded some stuff up yet. I just been busy, so, but
That's okay.
I
Well, the
got
reason
some
I'm
stuff I'm
asking you
putting
is
up
because
there.
I want you when we I'm going to get off here so that way I can get Nate. Look at him back here. He's playing basketball. But I want to get your links. So text me your links so I can upload them to the comment section when I upload the video.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Well, thanks for having me.
Man, Josh, thank you so much for coming on. I really do appreciate you coming and
Absolutely,
hanging out with me.
absolutely.
I had to put my glitter eyeshadow on for you.
Mm, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, like, like I think for a while, like once I got the more sober I've gotten, I think the more arrogant I've gotten. But I mean, hey, it works, right?
We're doing good. We're winning. We're staying sober and we're winning.
Right,
So
and it's all about progressive daily, like as long as you improving daily, that's all that matters, as long as you doing something to better yourself,
that's
every
right.
day,
That's right.
so, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming. I'm going to talk to you later, okay, kid?
All right, thanks. Yeah, I appreciate it. You have a good night. Bye,
Bye, Josh.
everybody.
All right, you guys. That was Josh. Thank you to all my wonderful subscribers for sticking in here with me, hanging out. I'm going to get his links to his social media and I'll upload this video, and all those links will be listed in the comment section below. If you guys haven't already, go back to the video before this labeled giveaway, because I'm having a giveaway. I'm giving away a Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette for the ladies, and I'm giving away a leather wallet. I'm not sure, but Her Opiate Fix is helping me with the giveaway. So Her Opiate Fix is providing the leather goods, and I'm providing the makeup for the ladies. So there'll be two winners, a man and a woman. The rules to the giveaway are: go to the video before this labeled giveaway. Comment down in the comment section your name, your sobriety date, and what has changed in your life since getting sober, and what you can do now that you couldn't do when you were in active addiction. And the reason we are doing this is because we want to give other people hope. So they're going to come down and they're going to see all those comments in the comment section of that giveaway video, and they're going to read all you guys' experience, strength, and hope. All right? So you guys go over there, comment on that, and I'm going to be picking the giveaway winner on Friday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time during our Mara meeting. So I love you guys. What if Daniel wants the eyeshadow? Well, then we'll make that happen, Daniel. I got 2 palettes. So if the guys want the palettes, you guys just have to let me know, okay? But I do have a men's gift and a women's gift, so you guys just let me know. There's going to be one winner, man and a woman. So I'm really excited. I hope you guys enjoy that. But the main reason why we're doing this is because I want you guys to put down, like I said, your sobriety date, your name, and how your life has changed since getting sober. And I want to show other people and encourage them and give them hope. All right? And if you're still struggling in your active addiction and you want to enter the giveaway, I want you to comment down below how you hope your life will change, okay? And what you want to get out of recovery. And that's a way you can enter if you're still in active addiction, all right? All right, you guys, that's Josh in the comment section. So if you guys haven't already, say holler at him, thank him for coming in. You guys, it's hard to come on somebody's channel and talk with them, and you're anxious and the nerves start going. So everybody that comes on here is so brave and so courageous to open up and sit and talk with me, and I really do appreciate it, you guys. Like, I love being able to connect with you guys and hear you guys' stories, and I look forward to each and every one of you guys every time I have a new guest. I get so excited. So tomorrow I'm taking the night off. Friday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we have our Mara meeting. Saturday, Miss Carol's coming on to share her story. Sunday, Nick is coming on to talk about relapse. And Monday, Daniel in the house is coming on at 7. And then Tuesday morning, we got Brittany from the Compound 24/7, Josh's wife. And then on Wednesday, we got Crystal. So we got a packed list of interviews. We're going to be popping them out, you guys. I hope you enjoy them. I love you guys so much. And I'll see you guys on Friday for the meeting.